Greetings. Greetings. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. I'm here as a living man. I'm coming from the office of a sovereign. I'm wearing my Raymond family crest. This is the crest from my particular bloodline of Raymonds. You can see we have the 12 angles to represent the 12 signs of the zodiac. You can see we have the 4 inner angles: Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars. You can see the Earth is represented by the interior of the cross, the lily of the valley, the life, the green life. This, my family, my bloodline, the Raymond bloodline. Here's a book called War with the Saints. Count Raymond of Toulouse and the crusade against the Albigenses under Pope, says Pope I. I believe it was Innocent III. He has declared the Raymond line heretics. A papal bull was issued, and the Spanish Inquisition actually began in Aquitaine, the south of France, against the Raymond bloodline and the Albigensian people, the Waldenses, and all the other independent, pastoral, indigenous Christians that had come to the lands of my peoples for refuge. And when the Pope ordered us to persecute them, because we were Catholics, the Pope ordered us to persecute them, we said no. Also, my family bloodline was famous for the women who are very outspoken. And there's rumor that we are descended from Mary Magdalene, or that we were part of her entourage, as she was most likely African. There is a history of Raymonds being labeled as colored as well. And there's kind of an interesting, well, I won't go there. Here's genealogies of the Raymond families to New England from 1630 to 1886. My blood was here in 1630. Came over by way of England. We had been driven out of France, and we had resettled in England. We had helped to establish common law there. I have a Raymond that was on the King's Bench establishing common law. There's evidence that we were there. Eleanor of Aquitaine is a Raymond. And anyways, there's a lot of reparations that the Catholic Church needs to make to the Raymonds. So that's one of the things that I'm here accomplishing by operation of law, laying down a record. So I'm going to read some definitions out of a law dictionary. Record, a noun. A documentary account of past events, usually designed to memorialize those events. The other explanation is information that is inscribed on a tangible medium, or that, having been stored in an electronic or other medium, is retrievable in perceivable form. And that is UCC section 1-201, subsection B 31. So I'm creating a record. This is a document of past events, and it's going to be in a retrievable form, as I will upload it to YouTube. The verb of record is to deposit an original or authentic official copy of a document with an authority. So I'm depositing this record, and there's plenty to come. I'm going to break it up into roughly 15-minute segments, because YouTube will only allow me to upload 15 minutes at a time. So this is the introduction. I was born on King County in Washington. I was issued a birth certificate that had the name Kevin Christopher Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick is my mother's bloodline. Here I'm wearing the lapel Fitzpatrick. A pin. The reason being is that she was protecting my father, because, well, there's a lot of circumstances there. So the first birth certificate, the original birth certificate, was issued to Kevin Christopher Fitzpatrick, and I did not know that. I always grew up believing or knowing that I was Kevin Christopher Raymond, and my blood father did marry my mother and consummated the marriage, and my name was changed, and then I just never knew the difference. But the original bond was issued in a name, my mother's family name. So, my name is Kevin Christopher Raymond. That's my property, my commercial property vehicle, and it's an ancient and honorable name, so it is protected. It's protected. I do protect it. I claim it and I protect it. Also, Kevin Christopher Fitzpatrick. They're both mine. Yay. Recording Act was something that was passed in 1802. It's a statute that establishes the requirements for recording a deed or other property interest and the standards for determining priorities between persons claiming interest in the same property. Now, I'm a people, okay? I'm a lawful person. I'm a living man. I'm one of the people. And I'm also a lawful person if I need to be a person, if I need to work, to be in that jurisdiction for some reason. I can act as a person. But I am not the person created on that birth certificate that was lodged in the Treasury Department and SKV Trust was started or issued on my name as a corporation, as a vessel. And yeah, so I'm not that. That's been the presumption I had to live under, unbeknownst to me or anybody in my family. And so I'm here to counter that presumption. And I have already been gobbled up by the justice system in the past. And once I was inside, they were always like, well, is there any record of any of this? So I'm creating a record. Race statute. Recording acts also are designed to protect bona fide purchasers from earlier unrecorded interest. So I was registered by the state. I wasn't recorded. See, they didn't record me to land and soil. They registered me with their maritime admiralty jurisdiction. And so I didn't know that. I didn't consent to that. I was a baby. And my mom was at an extreme disadvantage. And she didn't know any of this stuff, nor did she consent to it. Notification, international law. A formal announcement of a legally relevant fact, action, or intent, such as notice of an intent to withdraw from a treaty. So this is my notification. I've made many. I've made many, but here's another notification on the record, public record, that I long ago withdrew from this citizenship status that I was elected into without my knowledge or choice. Signal. A means of communication, especially between vessels at sea or between a vessel and the shore. So this is my signal as someone who is standing on the land to the vessels out there. Hey, watch out, rocks. You could crash your vessel if you come closer, okay? You're coming up on some rocks here, and I am owed major reparations. So, this is my signal. Surreptitious of conduct. Unauthorized and clandestine. Done by stealth and without legitimate authority. So that is, I was registered surreptitiously by the doctors and nurses who are uniformed British officers under the territorial United States, which I am a foreigner to that. Surety of the peace. A surety responsible for ensuring that a person will not commit a future offense. And I do, right now, initiate a surety of the peace against the Catholic Church, against the Freemasons, against the Jesuits, against any secret society, against law enforcement officers working for the corporations that are masquerading as our legitimate government, the courts, the lawyers, the judges, anybody. This is I have instigated a surety of peace right here by operation of law by putting this on the record. So just know that a surety of peace is out there and is helping me because I'm at an extreme disadvantage. And if we want to open this up to a discovery, I'm happy to bring it all and on the table. And I would love to get everyone there and we can figure out we want to, since I've been blamed for so many things, maybe we could get the discovery out and then we could really talk about, who should be blamed if we're going to blame people. Surrender of charter is for corporations. The dissolution of a corporation by a formal yielding of its charter to the state under which it was created, and the subsequent acceptance of that charter by the state. So surrender of charter, think of all the corporations out there masquerading as courtrooms, as police forces, as city halls, all those things, and they're filled with corporate entities doing corporate business as persons, not people. Okay, they're not representing the people; they're representing persons, and persons are, come on. Symbiotic relationship test: the standard by which a private person may be considered a state actor and may be liable for violating someone's constitutional rights if the relationship between the private person and the state and the state government is so close that they can fairly be said to be acting jointly. Further along in that definition, it says, but if a private person violates someone's constitutional rights while engaging in state action, that private person and possibly the government can be held liable. State action may be shown by proving that the private person and the state have a mutually dependent symbiotic relationship. And so Judge Kate Burton out of Marion County courtrooms, yeah. Albino Vela, public defender in Marion County. Yep. You got Chris Hansen, Lane County, public defender. State Trooper Guy Nelson, who pulled me over, tackled me, and tased me after I explained to him my common law right to travel down the road. I was driving the speed limit in a vehicle that was legally registered to the state, which I guess was the mistake I made. It wasn't mine. I was driving for a friend. She couldn't drive, and she asked me to drive, and so I did. And then I was suddenly pulled over, doing 55 miles an hour in the slow lane on I-5. When I explained my rights, I was backup was called, and then I was tackled and tased and arrested and spent 1,111 days incarcerated. Foreign, of, relating to, or involving another country, of, relating to, or involving another jurisdiction. Reconveyance, the restoration or return of something, especially an estate or title, to a former owner or holder. So I'm reconveying my good name from the jurisdiction of the sea, U.S. citizenry, to the jurisdiction of land and soil, which is my birth state, Washington. Certificate, a document certifying the bearer's status or authorization to act in a specified way, especially an official paper stating that one has completed a course or passed an examination. A notice by one court to another court of the action it has taken. C'est que vie, law, French, the one for whose life. Archaic, the person whose life measures the duration of a trust, gift, estate, or insurance contract. Reasonable necessity, a necessity arising because an alternative cannot be used or acquired without a substantial expenditure of money or labor. Strict necessity, a necessity arising from a lack of alternatives. Heir, someone who, under the laws of intestacy, is entitled to receive an intestate decedent's property. Holder in due course, someone who in good faith has given value for a negotiable instrument that is complete and regular on its face. It is not overdue, and to the possessor's knowledge, it has not been dishonored. All right, I got to shut this off, and we will have a part 2 coming up real quick.